Right, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another stream. We are live with RTG Mondays, and we're at the Great Track of Singapore and the updated layout as well. So we've got a lot to look forward to this evening. Not long left. We are on round 9, and we will run through the standings in a little bit. But before we get there, let me introduce you, my co-commentator for this evening, and hopefully the next few weeks, Matthew. Say hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. So you've never done commentating before, so this is a new one for you as well. Watch him.
Yeah, very new.
Very new, exactly. But don't worry, I don't have a clue what I'm doing either. Most weeks, as most of chat will probably tell you. But I don't know about you, but I'm just getting a black screen loading in at the moment, which is always so
typical.
This is always a very good start. We're determined not to slag Codemasters off already. It's only been 30 seconds. While we're doing that, should we run through the driver's standings while we very patiently wait? Oh, we're going in, and it's raining. Maybe we won't.
It's wet.
It's wet. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Is it intermediates? That's the question. Yeah, everyone's.
It doesn't look too heavy, so yeah.
No, the game's putting everyone on intermediate, so one would assume it's there. But it, like you say, probably close to the limit. But yes, we'll go back to the standings. We have Chuckle leading the way on 170 points, and he's managed to storm a bit of a gap thanks to a couple of non-attendances over Josh McGill, who's back in P2 on 144 points. Not far behind on 137 is AJ, so the Mercedes team looking very strong, if I can get my words out. Chuck in fourth, not far behind either, only 3 points behind AJ, so there's a lot to play for here. And Paul as well, 126 points in fifth. So a lot of potential changes before the end of the calendar. We have this round and next round, so this is the penultimate round. Somehow Haas are leading the way, despite Mercedes being in 2 and 3. But Haas are in 1 and 4 in the drivers. So 304 points for Haas and 281 for Mercedes. So again, it could all change on that. But yeah, this rain's certainly going to spice things up. And I think the fact that we're not getting anyone out onto track probably insinuates to me that maybe this rain might ease up by the end of the session. What's your thoughts, Matthew?
Yeah, right, as we see the first one coming out, Danny. It might ease up, but they tend to give it a bit of time, don't they, when it's wet, to let other drivers go out there and grip the track up for them.
Yeah, true. I mean, for me in the wet, I don't know about you, I tend to like just going out there, just fueling up for a bit and just going out there and doing about 4 or 5 runs in a row if I can, depending on battery usage and that. Just get out there and have a feel for the conditions, because you're going to make up more time in confidence than you are what little the track's going to grip up, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, drivers might go out on quite a heavy fuel load and just keep going round and round if it's not going to dry up.
Yeah, exactly, as we see Danny.
Obviously, with it being short qualifying as well, they wouldn't really want to pit.
No, exactly, and then I normally find you by that point, you get to about 4 minutes remaining, you've set a decent lap, and it's then come in. Oh, Danny nearly been in it over the bridge. Yeah, by that point, you're pretty much in the groove, so to speak, and you've got a decent banker lap on the board, and then it's just come in, bolt on a fresh set of tyres, lower the fuel, and absolutely go for it right at the end. Always seems to work quite well for me, but yeah, it's just gaining confidence in the wet, so we'll see who does have the most confident. Obviously, we've got the new layout as well, I did allude to earlier, so that really tight, twisty 90-degree section of corners in the last sector all gone. So you come over the bridge, take your 90-degree right, and then it's flat out, a short little straight, no DRS though, into the last chicane. So some potential overtaking opportunities there, but we'll have to see come the race. As we watch Danny go onto his first lap. Yeah. Have you done much practice on this track with the new layout or not?
Apart from 5 lappers, no.
No, me neither. I think I've done about a 5-lapper race and that's about it.
I mean, I don't know about setups around here, but I think most drivers will continue to run their, obviously, really high wings around Singapore.
Yeah, I don't think there's a massive need for knocking much of the wings off, especially not if it is raining. You still need that higher downforce. You could probably get away with knocking 1 or 2 off, I think, now, with that straight, but really, you want to keep it quite high on the whole. And in terms of your setup, it doesn't change too much. You perhaps want to take it slightly more away from slow speed as Kingsholm retires, but that's in the pits for looks of it. Has he got a quali ban? I
Not
did
too
have
sure.
a bad race a couple of weekends ago, so he might have a quali ban. That's why he's retired in the pit. As we are just watching Danny on this opening lap. Quite a lot of cars come out now for laps to see what they can do. Danny sliding all over the place, trying to get a bit of grip. It looks a little bit greasy down on the track. There is some grip there, but not all that much. It probably looks grippier than it is, I reckon.
Yeah, Singapore in the wet, not a lot of fun.
Well, I do love to beg to differ, but then any track in the wet for me is fun. As Danny sets the opening lap at 144.9. Who else have we got?
Prodigy is next, and he's purple. Could see a faster time.
Yeah, Prodigy's been on fire recently. Got some incredible pace on this game. Taking a lot of curb, and that's an invalidation. And that'll invalidate his next lap as well. It was a 142.9. So a good 2 seconds clear. As Lee now goes
Lee
top.
at the top.
Yeah, as a 144.1. So quite a few improvements. Josh McGill getting a little bit slidey into the hairpin, but going purple in
Matty
sector
Jones ran in the last corner. Puts it faster.
Going purple by 3/10. Good lap from
We've got a Haas next.
Oh, we certainly do. Chuckle going faster. Bear in mind, Prodigy did set a 42.9, so all of these laps would be behind Prodigy if he had managed to complete that lap, which is worth noting. Bugatti coming around the final corner. He slots into P4. So a few laps coming in, and they will come in thick and fast at this point. Pippo goes P6.
AJ last corner.
Certainly is.
Tops the time sheets.
Yeah.
But still 4/10 slower than Prodigy's invalid lap.
Absolutely. Let's keep an eye out for Prodigy. He'll be one of these obviously invalidated the next lap, so he's having to do a cool down lap, as you will. Paul looks like he's invalidated as well.
Josh McGill now ran in the final corner.
And as you would expect, straight to the top of time.
Shoots to the top.
Blistering lap that is. 42.2. Wow.
And that would have put Prodigy P2.
By quite some margin as well.
Yeah,
but
7/10.
Josh McGill, we know, has been absolutely on it with this game. Very, very hard to beat.
Prodigy's starting his second lap now.
He certainly is. Just keeping an eye on everyone else that's not still a lap of it. Got a few on a lap, but none close. Oh, Apex Royal might be coming around the final 2 corners. In the other Alpine, what can he set? It's going to be a P4. That's a good effort from Apex Royal, that. Slots in between Chuckle and Matty. So, nice effort from him. We'll have Looney Man, who's running very close to the wall there. Oh, there's a big slide from a Haas in the background as well. We just caught on stream just about. Looney Man goes P7. The Haas in the background. Who was that? I don't know who it was. Was it Chuckle? Yeah, it was Chuckle, but I don't think he improved at all.
Prod's gone purple through sector 2. Sector 1, sorry.
He certainly has. Let's watch with the Red Bull and see what he can manage. Throws the car in. Bear in mind now he's got a lap under his belt. Even though he did invalidate, he will probably be finding confidence with every corner. Just pushing that a little bit extra. And as he's saying, that the times in the wet always just come tumbling very quickly. All about that
Flea
confidence.
at the last corner now, finishing his lap. Where can he go up to? Oh,
he can go into
he's hit
the wall.
Massive snap of oversteer there.
Gets the lap in, but I think that could have been a lot better without that.
Yeah, yeah. Might have to pit with wing damage now as well with that.
Yeah, very lucky not to actually DNF there. I thought for a minute he was going to.
Yeah.
Second
last corner, very high speed.
Yeah, Prodigy now coming through the final corner, keeps it well within track limits, and that is a 42.233. Look how close that is between him and Josh McGill. Wow, great stuff.
He's not invalidated this time, and he's put it top of the timesheets.
Yeah, exactly. Great stuff from him. Who else do we have? We've got Chuckle possibly on a lap as well. No, he's backed out by the looks of it.
Clay's on the lap, the Alfa Romeo. And so is Elegant.
Certainly is, as Clay rounds the final couple of corners now. So difficult to keep up with who's on a lap and who's not in these conditions. That's P4 for Clay. That's 43.3, so good effort from him. Elegant also finished his lap. I don't think he improved. Danny's retired. Is that on track? Or is that in the pits? That is on track. That is on track in the first sector. It looks like he's gone straight on.
Chuck now, running off his lap.
Where is Chuck? Oh no, he's...
AJ Baker.
Oh, went on to Chuck and he finished his lap and it went off. So I was looking at somebody else. Brilliant. Oh, I hate when they
Oh, Paul going to third. Brilliant lap by Paul.
Yeah. Still 8/10 off the top two though. I'm sure he's going to be pondering where he can find that time. See who
Flea
else?
went faster, but it was invalid. So he knows he's got pace in him if he can keep it within the track limits.
Absolutely. It's surprisingly easy to get track limits on Singapore, because although there's walls everywhere, there is a couple of corners where it's so easy to run it wide and extend a bit, especially that last couple of corners.
Yeah.
As we go through, I think Apex on an invalidated lap. Who else we got? Anyone on an actual lap? No, Prod's in the pits.
No. Alfa Romeo, is he on the lap? Is that Clay? No, he's backed off.
I think AJ in the Mercedes may be on a lap, I'm not sure. As he comes down the second DRS straight, obviously no DRS active now. He is 3.5 up, so... Oh, a big slide there though from the Mercedes, and I think he's probably gonna... Is he gonna back out of this? No, it looks like he might
still 3/10 up.
Yeah, as he comes into this final sector now.
Pippo into fourth place. Brilliant lap by Pippo.
Yeah, great lap from the Alpine. And AJ is coming into the pits, so he's abandoned that, but he knows he has a little bit more time in hand, certainly enough to get him into P3. Does he have any more
Flea on the lap now? Oh no, he's gone straight on.
I mean, it's probably quicker taking that line, Flea, but it's not the ideal one, and it will get you an invalidation, as you see. So maybe needs to work. When they told him that they cut out a couple of corners for the last sector, maybe he needed to do his research onto which ones. But we'll see.
Yeah, they didn't mean that one. The straight isn't that long.
No, exactly. I've got a few people that have actually gone into the pits, which surprises me. Like I say, I normally like to leave it quite late, just keep building the confidence and then chuck on a set of new boots right at the end.
Matty Jones 7th.
Yeah, it's good lap by Matty. He's been showing some great pace recently as well, which has been quite unlucky in some races. But oh no, I say that. I think we cursed him. He's round and in the wall. He's still going though. He is still going. That is very lucky not to DNF, but he has lost
Clay's on the lap.
wing. And onwards he goes. Lives to fight another day. He'll probably have time to come in and stick a new wing and new shoes on. And away he goes. Yeah, Clay goes up to P3, 42.4, so he's getting very close to the top two. The closest challenger so far. Prod and Josh really been in a league of their own in terms of qualifying recently. It has to be said. Chuckle's on an invalidated lap, so he's not improving at the minute. AJ's on an out lap. Is Josh McGill on another lap? Let's keep an eye on him, shall we? He's got a lot of traffic around him.
A lot of drivers just left the pits now.
Yeah, exactly. 4 minutes left on the clock. It's getting towards crunch time. Who's going to be on the track at the right moment? I think it's all about, like I said, building that confidence. And if you can put that good lap in right at the end, the track conditions are going to be at their best. It's just going to gel together and really set a flying lap time. Josh does have a lot of traffic on this lap. He is going purple and 3/10 up, so It looks like it could be snatching that pole position back away from the Red Bull. Is the car up ahead going to get in his way? I can't see who it is. It's an Alpine. They are not on a lap yet. I think they might be starting theirs, and I think it might just give him a little bit of dirty air. No, they do get out of his way. So all good for the Mercedes, albeit slightly off-putting perhaps, but can't be helped. Across the line, 41.9, first driver in the 41s. Brilliant. What a great lap from the Mercedes driver, and absolutely stamping his authority on this qualifying session. What does Prodigy have back? Well, I tell you what Prodigy has back. He has an extra 1/10.5 in the first sector, so this is going to be very close. It is not over yet.
And final corner.
Absolutely, this is definitely all to play for as things stand. We'll try and flick between everyone, and as the time ticks out, what's Prodigy able to do in this other Red Bull as he comes under the bridge? A very tricky technical section, especially in the wet. So easy to get too much on the power, too much on the brakes, lock up a wheel. But it's neat and tidy through there. He's going to come across the sector split, braking into the right-hander. What's it going to be? It's 2.5 tenths up. So this could be enough. Can he find any more in the last sector? He has an AlphaTauri ahead of him. Is that AlphaTauri going to get in the way? It might even provide him a small slipstream down here, but it will give him turbulent air into the last two corners. And that AlphaTauri is not getting out the way. Matty Jones was left. Don't know what happened there. Hopefully he gets back in. This AlphaTauri absolutely giving Prod a bit of dirty air and getting in his way. Is he able to improve? No, it's a big improvement. It's very, very close, but I think that AlphaTauri that Prod won't be that happy with.
Purple final sector though, according to the game.
Yeah,
including that AlphaTauri in front of him.
Could well be. He's got time to do a cool down lap and then maybe go for another lap, if which would be nicely timed for him. But he does need to get a move on. Josh McGill coming in the pits and missing the pit lane entrance, so I don't think Josh will be taking any further part in this session. That's as good as he's going to get. Bugatti, is he on a lap? No, I don't think he is. Paul's just gone on to a lap. Pippo's on an out lap. AJ looks like he could be on a lap coming around the final two corners. Can he make it a Mercedes front row? Oh, not quite. 5th place for AJ, 42.8.
Oh, chucks on purple through sector 2. 4 tenths up. Could he challenge for pole? He won't have enough time to go around again and do a second lap, so this is it for Chuck.
Well, if he's 4 tenths up, he needs to find quite a bit of time in the last sector, because it's about 1.4 seconds he needs. Josh McGill's retired.
Come out the final corner.
Surprise.
What can he do? 5th.
P5. Very close behind Bugatti Sloven as well. I'm sure he's going to be a little disappointed it's not higher, and he won't have time for another lap, don't forget. Bugatti Sloven looks like he's gone purple in the first sector, a 10th up, so let's not discount the Ferrari just yet. As he goes through, oh, a big wiggle there. Paul's on a... Is Paul on a... Oh, AJ! What's happened there to AJ? There's carbon fibre strewn all over the track. I think he's
and
lost
Looney Man's lost it as well.
Oh, he certainly has.
Manages to keep it out of the wall, but that can affect him.
Yeah, it's so easy to be done. You can risk it all in qualifying, but don't want to risk it all in the race, because that'll be it.
As we see the second Aston Martin of Prof getting a bit squiggly out of that corner. Up on his time though.
Absolutely. Bugatti Sloven now 2 tenths up apparently. Oh, that Mercedes was right in his way, and I think that was AJ. It was AJ. AJ obviously didn't see him coming. He was right on the exit of the corner, and I think there's going to be a few stewards' inquiries for some blocking in this session. We've seen a few incidents of it. Let's hope it hasn't slowed Bugatti down too much as he rounds the final couple of corners, runs very wide but just about keeps it in track limits. It's a big improvement and up to P3, second row of the grid from the Ferrari. Great stuff from him. Who else have we got on a lap? Chuck was invalidated. Chuck, I think, is Chuck on a lap?
Oh, Prodigy's purple through sector 2, 3 tenths up.
Absolutely, let's keep an eye on the Red Bull.
Squiggly back end.
He certainly was. And how much can he gain in the last sector? Remember, he did have an AlphaTauri ahead of him before. So this could be the pole position lap as long as he keeps it together. The Red Bull rounds the final chicane now and into the final couple of corners. Just keep it within track limits. He's run it nicely.
He's kept
Across
it on
the line,
track.
it's pole position 41.804. Pole position by a tenth. I think that is everyone. I'm not sure if Paul's on a lap. He's
a tenth and a bit down.
Yeah, he's a tenth and a bit down, so I don't think he's going to be getting pole position.
Lee, invalid Royal Rumble. 14th.
Absolutely.
He improves.
Wow. And the championship leader, as Paul decides to take the flea line, I'm going to call it, through the last chicane. Just cut the corners, why not? As the championship leader, Chuckle, down in P11. He's got a nice healthy margin, but perhaps the pressure getting to him there, Matthew.
Yeah, it could have done. I mean, he lost out on massive points last week because of myself, unfortunately, but he's just got to, handle the pressure and just look forward in this race.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's why you're not racing this week. He's stepped in and banned you from racing ever again.
Yeah, he's demoted me. I've been kicked.
It's always a difficult corner to go side by side on, that one at Hungary, to be honest. It's almost always going to end in the inevitable. It was unfortunate, but yeah, I know what it's like. And when you get close to the end of a championship, you start overthinking it, and then you just not driving quite as well. You just driving a bit more steady, a bit more cautious. And he did message me earlier. I didn't actually reply to him, but I just ignored him. I gotta be honest. But he said he was trying to work out the championship standings. I think he needs 2 P6s, and he'll be champion still. But
that's if Josh McGill wins.
Yeah, exactly. So, but there we have it. Look at that. Prodigy, just shy of a tenth to Josh McGill. Prodigy snatches it in the end. What a great lap from him. Him and Josh pretty much in a league of their own there. But Bugatti, what an effort from him into P3, just ahead of the American Clay the Monkey. Some great lap times there, so competitive. And then a little bit of a gap back to Chuck. AJ in 6th, Paul in 7th, Pippo 8th, Apex Royal 9th, and Matty Jones rounding out your top 10. And on to the race we go. Is it going to rain in the race? Is it going to be dry in the race? Let's find out, shall we?
I hope it rains in the race. Oh, it's not. It's dry.
That's mildly disappointing. For us, I'm sure a lot of the drivers are jumping up and down for joy. As we do our usual, wait for everyone to choose their strategies. What is the optimum strategy around here, Matthew? Any ideas?
I don't think it would be a medium soft. I mean, tyre degradation around here is pretty high. So I would say probably a medium hard or hard medium.
Yeah.
Without safety cars, that is.
I mean, I remember past races gone by, it's always really hard on the rears because it's a very traction limited circuit. But don't forget that last sector was a lot of the slow speed 90-degree corners, whereas the first and middle sector are more medium speed corners than slow speed. So that could affect it a little bit with the tyre wear. So none of us have done any league racing now around here. So that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye out. Thanks everyone joining in the stream. As always, don't forget, drop a comment, cheer for your favourite driver, laugh out loud as Chuckle spins into the wall again and bottles the championship from a near impossible win, because we will. But yeah, no, honestly, just get involved. If you want to watch your favourite driver or anything, do drop a comment. If you or if we miss anything, because we quite often do. Not easy to keep track on all the drivers. Who's your money on to win this race? It's going to be a long one.
Well, obviously Josh McGill, we know he can win races quite often, but Bugatti Sloven up there as well, showing a lot of pace. Prodigy got a lot of pace. That's in the wet, isn't it? But I mean, I would say Josh McGill to win this race, maybe.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with you there. He's got the pedigree, he's got the experience, and let's be honest, he's not a man who bottles it often. He doesn't succumb to the pressure. I know, because I've put him under much pressure before, many times, and he just never feels it. He's not a man that feels pressure. Prodigy, on the other hand, a man of incredible speed, on this game. Really upped his game. And I think he's close to making a breakthrough, but I think he's putting a lot of pressure on himself. And he's got the bit between his teeth. So I think keep an eye on him. But will it manifest? He go a bit far. Who knows?
I'll also add as well, this track, maybe pad. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to say Josh McGill might be in favour here on the pad.
Exactly, as we are getting ready. Oh no, we're going to formation that. Is formation that back on then?
Well, Chuck will host, doesn't he, on Mondays, so it's probably just his mistake.
Yeah, that is true. As we see...
And there might be a lobby restart.
90% of drivers going on the hard tyres. Everyone down to P17 on the hard. So nice to see a nice mixture of strategy across the board. And the bottom three going for soft. So interesting call from them, including the two McLarens. But good evening in the chat. We got the Pretender in the chat. Greetings from sunny Tenerife. Amazing. How hot is it in Tenerife right now? I've got to ask, because in the UK it's currently about like 28, 29 degrees, and it is stifling. I don't know about where you are, Matthew.
Yeah, to put it politely, it's flipping boiling.
Absolutely. Took the words right out of my mouth. As there's the possible race strategy, you either start on hards or you start on mediums. So obviously McLaren weren't listening, and they're pulling a Ferrari and thinking, what's the best strategy? Let's do the opposite. But a two-stop, do you know what is suddenly possible on this game? Because the new tyres are just so powerful on this game. The way the tyre wear works, it's a bit strange.
Yeah, fresh rubber will aid you for like the first 5-6 laps. Then after that, they hit the drop-off point and they just get a bit slidey, don't they?
Yeah, so pitting on fresh tyres and then pulling a pit stop gap back again is actually feasible in a lot of scenarios. The things that are going to really affect that, as we get the possible race strategies once again, just in case we missed it the first time round. Thank you for that, Codemasters. I appreciate it. The things that are going to affect that really is safety cars and also traffic. So when you do pit, if you're pitting into traffic, it's going to massively affect you around here. So you don't want to be doing that, which is why more often than not the one stopper is quicker.
We see the top two have pulled away from the pack a little bit on the formation lap, so will their tyres cool down a little for the start?
Yeah, exactly. No question, Bugatti going very slowly under that formation lap. We have to keep within 10 car lengths of the car ahead, remember, and he most certainly wasn't doing that, but I'm sure there'll be no penalties like there is in real life, because we don't take that rule
Just
too
a slap
seriously.
on the wrist.
Absolutely.
Lee.
Lee becomes the only person on the grid to disqualify himself in the position. Flea, come on, you ruined that, just as I said it. As we wait for the red lights to get going. Pippo Kennedy gets disqualified. Lights out, and away we go. The Alpine's off to a great start. He's jumped them all into turn one. What a launch.
And there's the lobby restart.
Pippo doing a brilliant job there, and he's gone straight on at turn one. He's gone straight on at turn one. He's missed the corner, but he's still winning.
And that's the race done.
Absolutely amazing stuff. And now he's reset back into position.
Yep, here's the lobby restart we asked for.
It was almost, I think you could use the word predictable.
Yeah, it was inevitable. It was going to happen with the formation lap turned on. Chuckle,
dear.
fix your stuff, mate.
Yeah, we can all blame Chuckle for that one, so do slander him down in the chat. I know I will. I've got to be a little careful what we say, otherwise he might sack me off as a commentator. And interesting that Apex Royal got disqualified from that one, because he didn't actually disqualify him from himself pulling into his grid slot. So it's a bit strange that he was the one that got glitched.
Here's the 5 red lights.
Oh yeah, we're about to go in a minute. Who's actually
It's
racing?
the Ghost Grand Prix.
Yes, away we go for the Ghost Singapore Grand Prix. And Josh McGill gets a great start. No, he doesn't. Prodigy gets a great start. One of the two. The McLaren in the back gets a terrible start. He's retired almost instantly. They're ghosting in each other. There's no contact from anyone. What great driving from these ghost cars. Amazing stuff. There's 3 cars in one. Paul Jones with a lightning start. Amazing stuff. Chuckle gets himself a penalty. Ignoring yellow flags. Chuckle, honestly. Stop driving dirty.
So he can't oblige by the rules, and he can't set the lobby up.
He can't. Paul Jones now gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. I tell you what, this is more interesting than the actual racing. And less penalties.
There's 3 cars inside of each other in the top 5.
This is just amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing. I'm not really... Oh my goodness, what happened to the McLaren? Oh! Oh, what did the AI crash out? Kingsholm! Well, was that actually Kingsholm? That's got to be actual Kingsholm. It just went straight on and at the old Singapore sling. Amazing stuff. As we do get an invitation for a new lobby, so we will go over and join that. But that was great stuff. Yeah, the pretender just gives an emoji of a face palm, which I think sums it up really. Oh dear.
Hopefully Chuckle now puts the formation lap off.
And remembers to set the right grid order.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I gotta say as well, don't you love the F1 life on this game where you have 4 people? 3 of them are sitting on the sofa and one of them is just stood the other side of the room with their back to everyone, like an absolute loner. I don't know who set that up or designed it, but
I think they're focusing more now on the live events and the actual online racing, which is poor from Codemasters.
There is a lot of things that is poor from Codemasters.
The whole game in general, to be fair.
Yeah, it's abysmal. Could we say abysmal, or is that not strong enough?
Yeah, it's a bit light-hearted. That word is.
It is. We'll be nice. We're live on stream. We'll be nice. Short qualifying. Chuckle. Make sure you take qualifying off. Oh, there he goes. He obviously
and on cue,
listens.
he has.
Absolutely. Wondering whether I can... But maybe the commentator's curse is a thing. If I say it, it happens. So if I start cursing him all stream and just going... Chuckles managed to go all of a lap without crashing, he will like crash instantly on cue. So we just wait for everyone to rejoin. It's the lengthy process of getting everyone rejoining and then getting the grid set up as we go. Hopefully it won't be too long. Thank you everyone tuning in and sticking with this one.
And obviously no one now can change their tyre strategy, so they've all got to go on hard, the top 17.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. So obviously a lobby restart is the right thing to do, but it does mean that people can actually now change their setups if they got it wrong. And also, it means that, yes, their tyre allocation is different. So if somebody did an extra run in qualifying or that sort of thing, or saved a set of tyres, I don't think it matters too much on this instance because it was rain and now it's dry in the race. But, you know, it has hindered or helped certain people and given advantages and disadvantages across the grid. And I think that's a little unfair. I mean, there's nothing that organisers can do, but, yeah. Is what it is, and onwards we go.
At the minute, Chuckle's not even going to get a race because he's not booked a car.
Absolutely, he might join us on comms yet.
Let's hope he don't.
19 drivers out of 22, so I think we're just missing one person. So while we do wait, what did you think about the F1 on the weekend then, Matthew?
Obviously, being a Max Verstappen fan, loved it, brilliant. But it wasn't as boring as, you know, other races this season. Obviously, having a little incident with Hamilton and Piastri, I believe it was.
Yes, as a McLaren fan, I'm out for blood. I'm very, very salty about the one and only so crash a lot, taking somebody else out, and then getting an unworthy penalty for it. But there we go. Can you tell I'm salty or not? I'm not sure if it's showing.
No, definitely not. Definitely
I'm trying
not.
to hide it a bit, but you know, it took my main man out. Yeah, it was. In all fairness, it was a move that you expect somebody like Piastri to do, or Liam Lawson. Not a move that you expect a 7-time world champion to do. It was laziness, really. Quite poor.
AJ Baker needs to pick a car.
Has he picked one yet? Oh.
Nope.
Well, I'm sure the game hopefully will allocate him a car.
In his rightful seat in the Mercedes, is it?
There he goes. He has picked now. And we're loading in. And we've got another good long wait until everyone picks their setups. Probably a bit longer because everyone's got to pick their setups this time. Once again.
And put on their tyres that they put on, obviously, before the restart.
Yeah, exactly. This is it. This is almost like the real life F1 where we get an aborted start.
And have to wait 23 minutes.
Yeah. Through mind-numbing procedures. Certainly going to be an interesting race. Let's place bets. How many safety cars?
With Chuckle Racing, 2. Realistically, probably about at least 1, if not 2, because the walls are really close. New layout will make drivers go for some moves they wouldn't have maybe at the old layout. But
It's a good shout. How's the new layout going to affect it? Because I would say a lot of safety cars were caused by people crashing in the last sector, especially if they lost their wing earlier in the lap and then they were trying to go under the bridge. It's so easy
I
to
can
get
see
it
a
wrong
lot
in
of drivers though sending a dive bomb into obviously the last sector, the right-left chicane before the penultimate corner.
Yes, and you've got runoff to the inside and the outside a little bit there as well, so there's going to be a little bit of leeway that a driver can take avoiding action, so that will be a good one to watch out for. Good shout. So wait for everyone to do their usual, picking their setups, choosing their strategies. Will everyone go on the same tyres? I imagine everyone will be pretty much on the same tyres.
They should. They're obliged to, aren't they? So
One would like to think so.
if I was racing, I would think, sod you to the admins, I'm picking softs.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't listen to what the admins say. They have no idea what they're talking about half the time. So did I say that live out on stream?
You certainly did.
Okay, I can see myself getting a ban soon.
But that's mainly towards Chuckle, not the rest.
No, I'll count all of them. Ah, dear. They know I love winding them up. Let's be honest.
I need to be careful. Keep my mouth closed.
You do after taking Chuckle out last week.
That was just for the stream, though.
It was just to give us some drama, yeah. Try and make a championship fight of it because he was running away and all that. Yeah. I see. Out of curiosity, while we are on that subject, how much did Josh McGill pay you?
That is an undisclosed fee. I shall not be announcing that.
Good shout. Don't blame you. But tell him if he does want to come my way and wants me to take out a few drivers, more than happy to. Actually, if you tell him that, he'll probably just tell me to take myself out. Oh dear. Oh, speaking of which, Josh is in the chat. Obviously, didn't pay him enough. He still finished the race. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't finish race. I put myself in the wall. Oh, is that about Chuckle?
Yeah. Chuckle carried on.
But I took myself out.
Just out of interest, Josh, if you are listening, how much are you paying me to bin myself on Wednesdays? I'm curious. We've got John in the chat saying, "You did not mean it, Matthew, son." Did you not? It looked intentional to me.
I meant it. I didn't.
Yeah, no. It's the last thing you want to do.
And I've got, I'm not proud of this, but I've got the first red flag procedure given to me. Well, I've got 2 now.
Oh, yes, absolutely. There's a moment gone down in history for you.
I was the first ever.
I must admit, me and you, Matthew, have had many will-to-will battles, and I can absolutely vouch for the viewers at home how good your will-to-will ability is. So, yeah, no, I can tell you.
I wish I could say the same for you, mate.
Thanks. Jeez. Absolute burn. Blimey.
No, I've had a few battles at the top with you, Josh McGill, you know, chuckle beforehand as well. But it happens sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, got to be honest, I'm a lot more aggressive on this game, but I think you need to be.
Oh, here we go, the start.
We get going, and we have 5 lights, hold, and away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. Looks like a pretty good start on the front grid. Josh McGill manages to get a jump on Prodigy. He's going down the inside, but Prod sweeps around the outside. A little bit of contact, and Prod manages to hold the position. Bugatti slots in P3.
Oh, there's a Haas round. There's a few Chuckle again.
Contact. Is that Chuckle once again down to the back of the grid? Kingsholm also at the back of the grid. Clay's also had a mare as well. What is going on? AJ and Paul now switching positions. Will Paul have a go back? Not sure, but Josh McGill is going down the inside of Prodigy once again. There's a little bit of contact.
All the contact.
And again, amazing stuff. Josh McGill to the outside. Prod will not be happy at that. Did Josh McGill have enough of his car alongside? It was a little bit touch and go, but it is first lap, so fair play to him for trying, and Prod holds the lead for now, but for how long? Josh McGill looking absolutely rapid, especially down the straights. Is he running lower wings than Prod, perhaps? I'll have to keep an eye on.
That is a possibility with the new layout.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to keep an eye on that one as it goes. AJ very close to the back of Chuck.
Oh, Looney Man glued to the back of Lee. Is he going for a move? He moves to the inside. He's gone down the inside of RTG Lee. But he's not made it stick.
And that's going to allow Matty Jones now on a run on Looney Man, and around the outside he goes. He's going to get the slipstream off the Alfa Romeo. Who's going to be last of the late breakers into the last chicane? It's going to be Matty, and through he goes. Great opportunistic move from him. Elegant gets past Danny further back as well. Prodigy sets fast his lap as he crosses the line in first position. Lee, with that battling though, has dropped 1.4 seconds off Apex Royal, so not ideal for him. Bugatti,
there you go, Marcus, with that new layout.
Yeah, absolutely. Bugatti also dropping the leaders. Chuckles in the pit, so he obviously got damage from that first corner contact. Didn't see exactly what happened, whose fault it was, or whether it was just one of those, but Chuckle for the second week running as Josh McGill.
Apex Royale.
Fakes a switch
on the outside of Paul.
Yeah, great stuff there. Gives it a go. And he's got the move made, and after AJ, he chases. But other than that, fairly clean from everyone at turn 1. Very difficult on this track to do so. Bugatti holding his own, but he does have a wild Chuck behind him, ready to make a move at any moment, and losing touch massively to the leaders. So Bugatti definitely being the cork in the bottle as things stand. And round they go. Lap 2. Josh McGill very close to Prod. This will be interesting to see whether he can make the move once DRS is enabled next lap. Chuck looks like he's still struggling to find a way past the Ferrari. He's all over the back of him, but there's no way through. Or is there a way through? Up the inside.
Down the inside.
Goes. Great stuff, and there's contact from AJ who piles into the back of Bugatti, but I don't think there was any damage or any issues with that. Around they go, Bugatti running a bit wide. I think this is going to be an opportunistic move for AJ. He goes through. Will Apex Royal go through as well? Bugatti goes from P3 down to P6. Paul now wants to make a move on the inside. Is he going to make that move stick? He is. Bugatti down to P7. What a disastrous couple of corners, and now Lee is going around the outside of the Ferrari. Great stuff. What a lap
McGill
this is.
Close to Prodigy. Doesn't go for it. Backs out wisely.
Certainly is. Bugatti now dropping even more positions. So that one move by one driver has absolutely cost Bugatti. He's just set himself up too much to defend, and it's cost him on the switchback on every corner. Bugatti in the space of a handful of corners goes from P3 to P10. He's going to be kicking himself right now.
Chuckle in the pits again.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Why is he? Oh, he's got wing damage again. Did he not? Did he forget to put his wing to be changed? Perhaps.
They need to sort that out in this game. If you have wing damage, you need to just change it.
Yeah, exactly. And you still need to be able to change it when you come in the pits, because as soon as you cross the pit line, it blanks it out, so you can't change it.
Yeah,
But
you can't do it.
But you can still change the tyres even up to the last split second, which is ridiculous. So either do one or the other, not, you know, just silly, isn't it?
Lee Craig dropping out of the DRS from Paul a little bit.
Yeah,
But gets back in it again.
Just about clinging on to it. Josh McGill very close to the back of Prodigy. These two checked out of the front, 5 seconds in the lead.
Oh, AJ.
AJ gets the move made, as does Paul on Apex. So some great
Flea's
moves.
round.
But we're going to go back to the beginning. You're right, Fleet is round. But we're going to go back to the leaders, because Josh McGill right behind Prodigy here. Prodigy is going to be looking all in his mirrors. They're going to be using battery to defend, but to the inside, the Mercedes goes. He's going to be ahead by the braking zone. Has he got the move made? Looks like he has. He's made the corner and through into the lead. Josh McGill goes. Prodigy will now chase after him, and does he have anything to come back at the Mercedes? We'll have to see, but great stuff there from Josh.
Yeah, keeping that Mercedes glued to the back of the Red Bull for the past 3 or 4 laps.
Absolutely, and crucially not losing any time to the guys behind as Matty and Lee now go side by side. Matty makes a great move in an unorthodox place in the middle sector, and through into P7 he goes. What a great start he's had.
Looking like no one has the pace of the leaders at the minute. I mean, Chuck's even dropping back from the leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. He's dropped 6/10 in this lap alone, so the top two in a league of their own currently.
You've got 3rd to 14th all the way in the DRS zone, with Pippo making a move on Bugatti.
Absolutely, good stuff there.
Into that new section again.
Pippo. And I'm going to assume, John, in the chat that you are Matthew's dad. Telling Matthew to behave himself.
He indeed is.
Yeah, I mean, somebody needs to tell him to behave himself.
If it isn't my dad, it's Chuckle.
Yeah, but your dad says he loves a Red Bull Merc battle, as Matthew knows. So, yeah, I mean, it's spicy stuff. It's typical. It's a Red Bull and it's a Mercedes.
AJ now glued to the back of Chuck, coming down the straight, and Paul
Certainly
looking
is.
for a move as well.
Wow, they're going to make it 3 wide.
Oh,
Are they going
that's
to?
brilliant.
Amazing stuff. And through he goes. The Haas gets a little wobble on the exit, which I think cost him a run back
Apex
at Paul.
contact.
Oh, Apex.
Almost spun Chuck around, but keeps it in a straight line, and that allows Matty Jones now right on the back of Apex.
Absolutely, and don't forget Lee in there with that Alfa Romeo, and he's sniffing the back of the gearboxes of the cars ahead. And this is the thing, you make one mistake, you notice Bugatti on the second lap, one mistake, one position lost, out of position, and that could be it for you. This DRS train, absolutely ruthless.
Virtual safety car.
VSC, what is that for? What has happened?
LGE Kingsholm lost his front wing.
Oh dear. He's got away with it fairly well because he's still with the pack. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, just a VSC for now. No full safety car. I'm sure Chucker will be rather annoyed that it's not a full safety car. But the top two has Josh McGill, bit of a late call there, but fair play. Just about okay. Looks like he was feinting to try and trick Prod into coming in the pits. But I tell you what, look at this, because they have an 11-second lead after 6 laps. That is absolutely insane.
And that indicates to me, Marcus, that Chuckle may get lapped again in this race.
Yeah, he really needs to hope for a safety car
Unfortunately.
pretty soon. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely gutted. And we're on lap 6 and we got all 20 runners, which is quite unusual.
Shane in the pits. Double stacking at McLaren. That's a Ferrari strategy if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I'm sure Kingsholm's not going to be happy about that.
And they're both getting their wings replaced as well too.
Oh dear, DRS enabled. So we're
And
back running once
Back
again.
running, yeah.
And off we go. Nobody gets to drive through. Everyone judging it pretty well. Nobody really getting the leap on anyone else either. So all pretty much as you were.
As you say that though, Marcus, Paul has dropped to a second gap to AJ now off that restart.
Oh, he did. So yeah, Paul not getting a great restart. He has been. Me and Paul have been having a bit of conversation. And he's been constantly saying it's building up is his problem. He's quick by the end, but he takes a few laps to get into it. He's not good at the restarts. He's not good at firing those tyres up on this game. So he struggles somewhat for a few laps, but then once he starts building into it, he really comes on strong by the end of the race. But by that point, it's a bit too late.
Yeah, there's Josh now getting his tyres warmed up really nicely, putting a second gap to Prodigy.
Yeah, Prodigy just about clinging on. Does he have DRS here? No, he
doesn't.
Not.
No.
He will get a little bit of a slipstream. He's using a bit of battery to try and make sure he gets back in the DRS detection zone. There is the
Josh
detection
with a purple
point.
sector 3 now, so therefore, I mean, he's pushing.
Yeah, he certainly is. Prodigy does get back in that DRS zone though, with the detection point, so he's back within it for now, but obviously the DRS not as powerful on this track as Clay now gets past Danny into turn 1. Good move from the Alfa Romeo. Nice stuff from him. Lee gets himself a 3-second penalty already for corner cutting. Not good news for the lead Alfa Romeo, as he's going to make a move now on Matty Jones, and down the inside he goes, and that's a good move made from the Alfa Romeo, but they have a 2-second gap to Apex Royal. They want to try and get back. Prodigy is managing to stick with Josh McGill as well further up, so perhaps Josh just firing up the tyres a bit quicker.
Josh McGill's teammate as well did him a favour, holding up the rest of the pack with AJ Baker.
Yeah, absolutely, and Paul has managed to pull the gap back into AJ as well, so back up behind the Mercedes.
So could we see a possible move soon between Paul and AJ?
We could potentially do so. Bear with me 2 seconds, Matthew. You carry on for a sec.
Okie dokies. Josh McGill now, coming around the final corner. Prodigy within 6/10 of him. Nowhere near close enough for a move though for Prodigy. We see Paul now, the back of AJ. DRS wide open down to turn 1. What can he do? Pulls to the inside, looks, nope, doesn't go for it.
Sorry about that, I'm back. And yeah, no mismatch, not much. Cool, happy days.
Nah. Prod too far back for the move, but Paul, however, sticking close to AJ Baker on the first sector.
Certainly is, only 3/10 behind. DRS now open. That's a good exit from the Williams. It's not an easy straight to overtake, but the DRS is powerful. Down the inside, the Williams goes and into the podium position. He's going to shut the door on AJ on the exit, and rightly so. And through the Williams goes. Nice stuff there from Paul.
Obviously, Bugatti getting past Pippo as well, just after that straight.
Yeah, great stuff from Bugatti there, trying to make amends for his earlier issues. I'll tell you what, Apex Royal's doing well, isn't he? He's not normally a front runner, but he is sticking with Chuck and AJ and Paul.
Deep on the brakes there from Apex though.
Yeah, he's sticking with these guys very, very well and really pressuring Chuck. It has to be said. So Apex showing some incredible speed here, which is great to see.
Matty Jones now overtake button on for the new section, around the outside of Lee.
What a battle
Gets
these
the
two
inside
are
for the
having.
Apex. He's got that move done before the corner.
Nice
That's
stuff.
brilliant.
So that new overtaking straight, absolutely
Elegant in Clay,
can.
side by side. Elegant gets the inside, and he's got the move done.
He has good stuff there. That straight, absolutely proven. Oh, what's happened there? Is that Lee? Lee's gone round.
Safety
Oh
car.
no! Was Lee trying to come in the pits and binned it, or did he bin it, and that's why he's come in the pits? I missed
wasn't
what
watching.
happened. Yeah.
Is he getting? Yeah, his whole front wing is gone.
Yeah, I just saw him off the pit entry and just on the racetrack. I didn't really see what happened preceding it, but it looked like he was quickly diving into the pits, but whether he had binned it because of that or not, I don't know.
Well, this brings Chuckle back into the race sort of now, up to the back of the pack.
Yeah, Chuckle hasn't been lapped. That's a good shout there.
And he can now pit back onto the hards and go to the end. as he is on mediums.
Certainly can. The top two are probably going to be a little bit peeved because that's a massive gap that they have. It's about 15 seconds.
But they could still both pit and come out ahead of Paul if they go into the mediums for a 2-stop.
Yeah, that's a good shout. They could potentially do so. I mean, hards will last to the end. I don't think mediums are going to last to the end, as we see Shane coming in the pits once again. Probably 4 set of hards. Let's get the tire graphic up because we can certainly have a look at that. What's Shane putting on? Shane's putting on a new set of mediums, which seems a bit odd to me because I'm not entirely sure they would last to the end. That is a long way to make a set of mediums last. I mean, it's really going to be a 2-stop from here, I think.
Josh McGill in the pits.
Oh,
Prodigy follows him.
Very wide in the pits as from Josh there. But you've absolutely
Will
got
Paul now follow the leaders in?
I think inevitably. I
He
think absolutely.
does. AJ stays out.
Oh, that's an interesting call from AJ.
So is Apex Royale.
Oh,
chucks in.
Paul gets a 5-second penalty
Oh,
speeding
no.
in the pit lane. I can just picture him screaming in the chat.
Everyone's in then apart from Apex Royale and AJ Baker.
Absolutely. Strange stuff. So, mediums. How long will mediums last, Randy, do you reckon, Matthew? They definitely, well, they might go to the end, but you're definitely going to be in punching territory and they're going to be pretty hammered. I would
They
say,
can go to the end.
I would suggest that a 2-stop is the way from here.
Yeah, I would think the top two now are hoping for a safe. Well, sorry, Josh McGill and Prod will hope for another safety car or a virtual.
I mean, safety cars breed safety cars, but realistically, they need this to go on for another, 5 to 10 laps? And to maintain their positions somehow.
Well, Chuckle is very far back from the safety car, so this could go out for a few laps before it comes back in again.
Yeah, it's a good shout. And to be honest, this is a good shout for Chuckle as well, because Chuckle can maintain this, because he can go for another lap. I think if he goes for another lap, if you've got a new set of mediums, he can pit a couple of laps later than everyone else and join the back of the pack on a brand new set of mediums.
He has gone for the hards though, saying that though, Marcus. He's already on the hard tyres.
Has he got a brand new set of mediums spare? Because if so, I would go for another lap with them and then pit onto the set of mediums, and you'll probably make those last to the end a bit more comfortably. And you'll have a big advantage over everyone else. And that could be a way of getting back onto the podium for him. Doing one less.
But I mean, him being on the hards now, he can go to the end comfortably, for one, and two, his tyres won't drop off as much, and the leaders now will have to pit again, I think.
Yeah, it's a fair point. The hards will definitely go to the end. It's a bit of an awkward play for that safety car. It's just a bit too early for a lot of people, I think.
With most people being on the hards, I think, this was way too early for everyone on the grid. But Chuckle has come, not at the perfect time, but at quite a good time. So he's got a lot of laps now to get himself back into the pack and fight for possibly a top 10.
Yeah, do you think he should have kept going for another lap or two? Caught up and then pitted?
But another interesting point though, AJ Baker leads the pack for the restart. So will he allow Josh McGill to go through and hold back Prod?
He's got an Alpine in the way though, this is the thing. But I'm sure if Josh McGill makes the move early on Apex, then I don't think there's going to be too much fight from AJ. I've got to be honest. This doesn't really play to Prodigy's play much, because he's going to have to make up places at the same rate that Josh McGill is. So as soon as Josh McGill makes a place, Prod needs to make that place straight after, within the next corner or two.
And we know from experience, obviously last Monday's around Hungary, Josh can make his tyres last to the end.
Yeah, he's very good at looking after his tyres. He's the Mercedes driver, so that'll definitely be one to keep an eye on for. So everyone's stopped. So as we say, AJ, Apex and Danny have not stopped. So you'd imagine they would get swallowed up by a lot of people on brand new mediums. But the guys on brand new mediums, I would say, have to pit again. I just think it's too much of an ask to go right to the end. So they'll be looking for a 2-stop. and hoping that the guys that have stayed out don't hold them up for too long.
Mediums will last to the end, but it's just a case of they'll be in punchy territory, and you don't want to risk that, do you? Obviously, if you're at the top.
I think they'll be a bit beyond puncture territory. My predictions would be they would be about 80% or so by the end of the race.
And obviously with the tyre model, 25% the tyres drop off, and at 63 they drop off again. So you get basically no grip beyond 63%.
You say that, but I've done a couple of races recently, especially on the mediums for some weird reason, but on the hards as well. You just keep going and going and going, and even at 70%, the tyres feel like they got the same amount of grip. It's I don't know what Codemasters have done with this tyre model, but they haven't done a very good job on that. I've got to be honest. But we won't go down that avenue too much. But yeah, no, I did a race around Jeddah the other night, and I pitted on, I think it was lap 4 for hards. Went a bit early, and they were 73% worn by the last lap. But they still felt as grippy as they did when I first put them on.
That is a good point, actually. I did a race round Monza last night, and I did the soft medium, pit early off the softs, and took mediums to the end quite comfortably on like 70%, and they just felt okay throughout the whole stint.
Yeah, they almost seem to they feel amazing for a few laps, then they drop off, and then they come back to you. As long as you look after them, like you're not absolutely trashing them for the whole stint.
But that could be different throughout different tracks though, couldn't it? Because obviously the C0 to the C5. Yeah. Obviously mediums aren't the same round each track.
True. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what tracks, but I have done it on quite a few tracks where they have felt the same. I know Imola was one, Monza is another, Jeddah's one. I can't remember what other ones I've done it on, but yeah, there is a few tracks that has felt like that. Safety car in this lap, that's interesting. So, Flea is not going to get a chance to catch up unless he's very quick and gets a move on. He's 20 seconds behind the back. He really does need to get a move on. But this is lap 12, so we're going again on lap 13. AJ will lead us away on some old hard tyres. What can he do from there? How long can he hold the chasing pack behind? Through we go. And if AJ does a really late restart, I think Flea might be able to catch up just about. It's going to be close.
When's he going to go?
I think Flea's going to catch up, so I think he's all good, and thank goodness for that, and good thing for AJ waiting so long. And off we go into the first corner, and he's caught Apex Royal napping, but he hasn't caught Josh McGill napping. Josh McGill snapping at the heels of the Alpine. Is he going to go to the inside? He's going to look to shape up a move. He is not going to waste any time, and through the Mercedes goes the Alpine, leaving him room, and Prodigy now wants to make a move as well. He knows he needs to follow his rival through now, and cannot waste any time, and he does so. So good move there from Prodigy.
Side by side.
He certainly
with
is.
Danny.
Paul round the outside of Danny and gets the move made, and it looks like Chuck is now going to try and have a move down the inside of Danny, but try not to hit the Williams ahead by braking too late, and through Chuck goes. What a great move. Lee and Looney Man going to swap in positions, and Lee round the outside of Looney Man, and there's going to be an Alpine that sends it. That is not good. Pippo sending it in a place that he should not have been sending it, and he spins Looney Man round. I think they've got away with that without too much damage. But that is not good news. And Prodigy
now, through the Anderson Bridge, going to go side by side. Prod's got the move done for the braking zone.
Great stuff, but we missed Josh McGill, obviously got the move made as well.
And
quite a bit
round.
earlier. Oh, Apex Royal. That is
collided with Paul, I think.
Devastating news for the Alpine. 2 Alpines in the wars on this restart lap. Not what you want to see. Elegant goes up the inside of Chuck and nearly bins it in the wall straight away. Obviously went in too deep. But just about got away with that. as he goes, but Prodigy has lost 2.5 seconds to Josh McGill by not following him through immediately. Clay's going to go at the inside of the McLaren. There's contact. He pushes the McLaren off the road, but the McLaren gets the place back. And now Pippo's going to make a move up the inside of Clay. No, he wisely backs out, but Clay decides, and the Alpine decides, nah, forget track limits. Let's just drive off the circuit. Great stuff. Amazing to see. As Bugatti and Looney Man now trading positions. Bugatti trying to go around the outside of Looney Man. Can he make that move? Lee gets himself yet another time penalty, so not doing very well with track limits this evening, Lee. And that means Prof, what a move up the inside of Looney Man. He saw them battling up ahead, and he goes, I'll have some of that, but he hasn't got the drive he wanted off the corner, and Looney Man actually gets a great drive, and down the inside, Looney Man goes, there's no space there, and he does let his teammate pass, and he's going to drop positions to Kingsholm as well, who gets the move. What great racing. Amazing stuff.
I must say, I was going to say, does Paul have damage off that contact with the Alpine? But I don't think he does, because he's glued to the back of AJ Baker now, around the whole lap. So will he wait for DRS to be enabled, or will he just go for it and try and pull away?
Bearing in mind, he is on those fresh mediums as well, so he really does need to make this move absolutely as soon as he can. I think the top two's too far gone for him without another safety car now. Chuck makes a move on Danny. Danny going a bit wide. And Bugatti maybe getting a run on him. I think he's okay though. Great stuff. And once again, Kingsholm and Looney Man now going side by side. Kingsholm up the inside of Looney Man. Can he make the move? He certainly can. Absolutely great. And back to lead as we go. There's that wobble there from AJ. And Paul is going at the inside into turn one. I think this is going to be move made with the extra grip. It certainly is. Through the Williams goes. Great stuff. As I'm losing my voice, but there's positions changing left, right and centre here. There's moves being made up and down the grid. Great racing. And Lee looks like he's had a bit of a wobble because he's gone backwards.
Now. Outside of AJ Baker.
Oh, Prof's round as well.
Contact.
Prof is round and in the wall, and he's to the back of the grid. Not good at all, but yeah, good shout. Matty Jones round the outside of AJ and through into P4 he goes. What a great race Matty's having. He's going to be delighted with this, the way this race has gone. And I didn't see. Oh no, Paul had that penalty from the speed in the pit lane, didn't he? Forgot.
Yeah. And that gap from Prodigy and Josh McGill was sort of helped by his teammate AJ Baker, obviously letting Josh McGill through and trying to battle with Prodigy as much as he can.
Yeah, he certainly was. But having said that, Prodigy has held the gap at 2.5 seconds, but perhaps just gained it ever so slightly or bought it.
Yeah, if you look at his battery, he's got no deployment. He's got 3%.
Oh, great stuff. Danny and Kingsholm. Danny down the inside of the McLaren. They're going to be side by side. The McLaren is flashing, has no battery left, and I think Danny's going to get this move made. But Kingsholm tries to hold it around the outside, but can't quite do so. Gets run out of track.
Chuck with a move as well on the inside of AJ, and AJ's in the pits now.
That's an interesting call from AJ. That's I'm not sure what sense that makes from AJ, staying out just a few laps later, but...
he did lose a lot of positions, to be fair.
Yeah, it did. I think he would have been better off pitting. Going on a set of mediums or something.
Matty Jones with DRS on Paul, but nothing can be done, he's too far back.
Yeah, but Bugatti can get past Lee, and he does so. And Kingsholm can get back past Danny, and does so as well. Great stuff.
We see Chuckle now as well in P11. So the safety cars helps him a lot.
Oh yeah, good spot there. I haven't really been keeping an eye on Chuckle, but Chuckle on those hard tyres. Did he just hit the wall?
Yeah, I think he clipped it a little bit on the exit.
Has he got wing damage from that? Hopefully for his sake not. But yeah, Chuckle making a great restart up to P11, so that's pretty much all he can ask. And on the back of Danny, I'm sure he's going to be
Bugatti now
to make a move as much
stick towards Elegant. But Elegant has DRS, Bugatti don't care. Down the inside for Bugatti, under braking. Can he hold it? Oh, there's contact, I think. But they're both okay and carry on. And Bugatti gets the move done. Brilliant move there.
Yeah, good move there from Bugatti. It was forceful, but it was fair. And I think Elegant's going to try and have the move. And he sends it up the inside a little bit too hot, but just about makes the corner. And they're very compliant, Bugatti.
And Chuckle getting past Danny. for the new Section 2.
And I think Pippo might want to have a say about that, because can he get the AlphaTauri? No, he cannot. Not quite, unfortunately. And there's who was that in the background? That was Royal Rumble deciding he will take the Royal Rumble line and go way off the circuit.
Lee getting past Bugatti.
Yeah, he certainly does.
Puts him right on the back of Elegant now. Elegant has no DRS and no battery.
And I think Lee would have got DRS as well, if I'm not mistaken. No, he would not.
No, he does. Lee got DRS.
Oh, Lee got, sorry, yes, Elegant, apologies.
Looks to the inside, doesn't get it.
Prophetised in the pits after going round a few laps ago and sent to the back of the grid. We did miss what happened. We didn't see whether it was his own fault or whether there was contact with anyone else. I'm sure he's going to be disappointed with that one. Elegant going in a bit deep there, and Lee getting a bit of a run on him. Will Lee fancy a chance at the inside? I think he wisely decides to back out. But Elegant all over the place, and what a move from RTG Lee. That is one of the best moves I've seen being made around Singapore. Absolutely incredible stuff from the Alfa Romeo, and that is absolutely getting my vote for overtake of the month. What a move from Lee that was. Incredible
Brilliant.
stuff.
Hats off to Lee Craig.
Oh, Elegant going a little bit deep and getting the back end going, and Bugatti. Oh, that is naughty. That is not good. Elegant absolutely doing a Lance Stroll, not looking in his mirrors and turning straight across Bugatti, and that has done Bugatti quite a bit of damage and dropped in quite a few positions. Elegant still keeps
Clay's
going.
round. Bugatti's hit him. Bugatti's got major wing damage now.
Oh, that is gutting for Bugatti. He gets shafted
Clay gets a penalty for it.
Twice in the space of a few seconds. Kingsholm retires in the pits, I believe. How is this not a safety car? I don't know.
We have got a massive bunch of cars in the pits now with either wing damage or just wing damage, I presume.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think Elegant's going to cop a big penalty for that one, and potentially even a red flag, because he just didn't look. The Ferrari was fully alongside him, and he just turned straight across him and put him in the wall. So
Chuckle all on the back of Pippo now.
He certainly is. Chuckle up to P9 now, making moves, making progress. And I have to say, if we look at the top two, Prodigy is making, as Flea gets a penalty for crossing the pit lane exit. That's an interesting one. But Prodigy actually is making inroads on Josh McGill, very, very slowly, but he is making it.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough, and I think Chuckle is struggling. I think Chuckle has got a bit of wing damage. I don't think it's visible, but you look at Chuckle, he seems to be struggling with the front end. He's struggling to get the car turned. He's running quite wide, and he has a very understeery car. I think he has a bit of wing damage on that after hitting the wall earlier. I think it's only minor, but I think it's enough.
It's still not stopping him, though, from making moves.
Certainly isn't, but yeah, you can see he's just not getting the front end turned like he wants in there. Elegant's going to come into the pits. So I'm assuming that is for damage. 5-second penalty speed in the pit lane. That's an interesting one. Just didn't bother braking.
Royal Rumble on his teammate. Down the inside of turn 1. Late braking. Brilliant move.
Yeah, two AlphaTauris squabbling for positions. Can Danny have a go back at Royal? Is the question, though.
With a helping hand of DRS, maybe. Absolutely. And a lot more battery.
DRS, very powerful in this game. I think he's a bit too far back, though. I don't think he's got a great run off the corner. AJ gets past Shane quite comfortably. And through he goes, and still got DRS as well. I think Shane may have made a mistake there. But I tell you what, again, going back to the top two, Prodigy has made some big inroads on Josh McGill in the last lap. Can't see what the battery is on Josh McGill. The Mercedes places it so weird. You can't actually see the battery until he steers.
Josh McGill's battery is 27, so he's used it over the past lap or two, because last time I looked he was on 40%. So yeah. Prodigy's now saving, and Josh McGill is using it, but, I mean, Prod's still gaining.
Yeah, these two guys in a league of their own once again pulled a 9-second gap on Paul, who's pretty much in a race of his own himself. In P3, but Matty Jones, fair play to him, absolutely doing an incredible job. Only 3 seconds down the road of Paul, staying within that penalty window that Paul has, and could see himself in a well-deserved second podium in a row here, because I think he got one last week, didn't he, if I remember rightly?
Apex Royale pits.
Oh,
And
who's
clips the
that?
wall as
Is
he
that
pits.
Looney Man in Sector 2? It is Looney Man. He has gone round at the hairpin. Is there any damage on the Aston Martin? I think he's got away with it. But yeah, again, yeah, see Chuckle's struggling. He's dropped back from Pippo now. So I think he is struggling with that wing damage.
So AJ, after pitting, having fresher tyres on the leaders, he's still 40 seconds behind his teammate Josh McGill.
What happened there? Prodigy went from 1.3 seconds behind Josh McGill to 2.3. He must have made a mistake off camera. But that delta suddenly shot out. He must have had a little bit of an error, which we didn't see. So that's a bit disappointing. He was catching Josh. The gap gone back out again. And he's got it all to do again.
Chuckle now starting to approach the back of Pippo.
That was definitely the wall from Prodigy. I think he's pushing a little bit too hard here. And perhaps overdriving. He's cost himself another half a second. Perhaps just putting too much pressure on himself, like alluded to before the race. He's trying a bit too hard.
Pippo close to Lee Craig now, going into the last corner. Lee Craig's car flashing away. Is Pippo close enough?
Not close enough just yet, but he will get another opportunity.
And this is bringing Chuckle right into the back of him as well.
It certainly is. Royal Rumble's in the pits, that's why. But yeah, Pippo doesn't actually need to make the move. He will get the position on penalties anyway.
Lee's got 9 seconds of penalties now. Another track limit warning penalty. So he's not having the best of days keeping it on track.
No, he's having a bit of a mare. He's showing really good pace, so it's a shame.
Oh, it was a car round again, sector 3. And that is Flea. Flea's lost his wing, virtual safety car out.
Ooh. And I tell you what, yeah, just look at the top two again. The gap is absolutely ginormous now. I'm pretty sure we did see Prodigy hit the wall. I'm pretty sure he has got some wing damage from that because he's been losing time, hand over fist to Josh since.
If the leaders pit, they'll come out worse behind Chuck on fresh softs. So will Josh McGill pit? No, he stays out.
See, that's strange because I think
Prod
that would be.
pits.
Yeah, I would if Prod has to. I think he's got wing damage. I think that's the right call. Oh,
And the virtual's stopped just as he comes into the pits.
Not good. Maybe
That
not.
is so unfortunate.
So maybe Josh
But I think
McGill.
he'll still come out behind Chuck.
Prod not changing the wing. Though he may have made a wing adjustment potentially for it. He's gone on softs, so it's a long way to go on softs. I mean, he's going to come out 5th. It's perfectly feasible that he would get 2nd back from here.
Oh no, but Lee going round the main straight. Now in the faster line to turn 1 and 2 and 3, gets past.
He certainly does, as does Pippo, as does Chuckle.
And Chuckle.
Although I'm pretty sure Prodigy will make light work of him, but yeah.
DRS on Chuckle, Prod will have now.
That is not ideal. And you think if the VSC had stayed out for another 10 seconds, that would have seen him ahead of these guys.
And Prod now 29 seconds behind Josh, which is almost impossible to catch up with the amount of traffic that he's got to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's still looking at P2. If he makes the moves and gets through cleanly, I think a P2 is still on the cards for him. But yeah, not good for Prodigy. Perhaps the wrong decision. I thought it was the right decision, I must admit. But obviously we don't get to see when the VSC is coming in. The drivers do get a heads up on that.
Yeah, they get about a 5-second gap between that coming up and the safety car coming in, don't they? Well, the VSC ending.
They certainly do, as Chuckle pulls to one side, and I think perhaps lifts off a little bit and lets Prodigy past. Absolutely no point fighting that. That's not his race.
And Chuckle now will probably attach the rope to Prodigy.
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense. As Lee, what's happened there to Lee? He just backs out and lets 2 cars pass.
He's got no wing damage, so I don't know what's happened.
That's a strange one, but Prodigy getting the overrun on Pippo. Is he going to make the move into the final corner? That'll be a brave one. He's absolutely pushing this Alpine round the final corner. Uses a bit of battery and through he goes to P5 once again. Using that extra grip. his tyres will be absolutely loving it. He will be feeling all the grip in the world, but how long will it last? They're going to be pretty dead by the end, but as of
And
those
look at the gap to P2. 15 seconds he's got to make up to P2.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly doable. He's clearly
In the
been
next
quicker
9
at pulling a
laps.
gap on everyone anyway. So I think he'll be okay to get P2 as long as he can get those moves made.
I don't know, I think when the tyres drop off, the pace will drop off massively as well.
And don't forget the mediums will drop off as well.
That is true. They might have already dropped off though, to be fair. 13 laps on them.
Yeah, they would without a shadow of a doubt that the mediums will probably be on a good, I would say 30% by now, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more, maybe 30 to 35%.
Prod's pace though will last no more than 5-6 laps, I presume.
Depends how he drives, depends how he looks after those tyres, and in all honesty, like I say, on this layout, it could be a different kettle of fish because you are, as Bugatti is the second driver to get a penalty for crossing the pit line. But yeah, so a lot of that last sector was really using the tyres because it was trying to use the mechanical grip, and you would overheat them and overheat the rears as Prod goes very wide. Inevitably sets fast as that? No, he does not. Apparently not. And now you've taken those corners out, you might not be taking as much life out of those tyres as you used to.
Yeah, them sort of corners you lean on your tyres, don't you, a little bit, trying to get the nose tipped in.
Yeah, and especially on a new set of softs, you really feel the extra grip, so you start leaning on the tyres even more, you start feeling good with them and pushing on them.
And obviously, yeah, that scrubs the tyres and takes wear on them and stuff like that. As we see, Royal Rumble getting past his teammate again. His teammate's going in the pits, so that's irrelevant.
Yeah, Danny in the pits for a brand new set of boots. He's going for softs to the end.
The only thing to watch now, to be fair, is Lee and Chuckle within a second. But Lee having 9 seconds of penalties though, he's not going to finish where he finishes, is he? So
no, exactly. I think he'll be happy with this race, fairly happy, because he has had really good pace and he has kept with these guys. I think in a normal race he'd probably be top 5 quite comfortably, but I think there's a good extra couple of people in this race that have really shown incredible pace and been up there with the leaders. So it's kind of
Lee drops out of a second now.
P8 perhaps not really a true representation of how good Lee's pace has actually been.
And AJ as well. He should be up there, but obviously didn't pit under the safety car. And now he's stuck in P9, trying to get what he can with Lee's penalty.
Yeah, he's a good way back. I would certainly keep an eye on him because he's got much fresher mediums, and the mediums of everyone who pitted under the safety car, if they stay out to the end, they will be dead by the end, whereas AJ will have that bit more life in them and be able to lean on them a bit more without worry of a puncture. So just keep an eye on him as the race creeps on and ticks into the final few laps. Don't be surprised to see him catch up to the back of those.
Chuckle cannot make any inroads on Pippo yet. Lurking in that DRS, so oh, Clay
in the pits. He retires and gives up the ghost. Another DNF in the pits for Clay, ticked off the list. Matty Jones, I got to be honest, is very unfortunate. He's just dropped out of the 5-second window behind Paul, so a bit disappointing for him. But nonetheless, running an incredible P3 and a nice 4.7 second gap to Chuck behind. And this is great stuff from Matty. Really, really consistent. Really quick, and I think he ought to be proud of himself for this.
Definitely,
what a race he's
really
having.
should.
Really come on strongly the last couple of weeks, I would say.
To be fair, transition onto this game, he's been quite well. Obviously won in Abu Dhabi, I think, in a different tier. That was one of the first few races.
Yeah, he could well have done, but yeah, no.
Got on the podium in Qatar.
Showed some great speed on this game, hasn't he? Some great consistency as well and race pace. Like, his race pace has been really strong, which is great to see. So we see now Prodigy on the back of Chuck for P4. will have DRS. Will he be close enough? No, not in this time around. But those soft tyres showing their pace. Chuck doesn't have much battery, so it looks like it's a question of when, and that is when. Because Chuck decides to back out and not fight it, and fair enough to him, he's not going to...
Further back on the grid as well, we had Danny passing Looney Man into that new section. So it's pretty much fair to say these drivers are making use of that straight.
Yeah, they certainly are. So Prodigy has 5 seconds to catch up to Matty, and once he does that, he has to overtake and get 6/10, and he's got his P2 back. Certainly feasible, with, what, 4 or 5 laps remaining?
Obviously gaining 9 seconds in 5 laps will not be easy.
No. And
that's almost 2 seconds.
Oh, Sector 2 yellow. Who is that? That is Apex. Apex Royal Rand.
And Elegant.
Is that a reset to track as well? Well, yeah, Elegant
lets him pass, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. There's obviously been a coming together there. Elegant in the wars with another driver for the 2nd time this race, so perhaps going to find himself in the steward's room.
Chuckle now getting in the DRS of Pippo, hoping to move himself up into P6, and that'll be a phenomenal race by Chuckle, coming from dead last, almost getting lapped.
Absolutely, a surefire way of showing those people who do retire in the tracks, especially early on in the race, just showing them you don't need to retire. Keep going, because you just never know what's around the corner and what you can achieve. Just keep pushing. And
if Chuckle's maths are correct, Marcus, all he's got to do if he gets 6th this race is finish 6th or higher next race.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Obviously, crawling back a ton of points in this race.
But don't forget, obviously Josh McGill has not got maximum points for this race because he did not get pole position.
Do we know who's got fastest lap?
Currently Bugatti Sloven, interestingly.
When he pitted for them softs, presumably, isn't it? He'd come out and set a fastest lap. Which he wouldn't get the point, and that just takes the point off of Josh McGill if he had it. Which helps Chuckle all the more.
It certainly does, so Josh McGill doing all he can to try and catch Chuckle, and Chuckle doing all he can to try and prevent him, and just about doing enough on each. And this is what it takes, really, to be fair. It's just keeping out of trouble and getting those results.
If we keep an eye now on AJ as well, getting the DRS of Lee.
Certainly is. What did I say?
And also Prodigy approaching Matty Jones quite quickly.
Yeah, this is turning in to be a spicy end to the race.
Oh, Red Bull, Elegant. That's a VSC again.
Oh, Elegant.
Now, does Josh McGill
pit for
does he go in the pits, Josh McGill, and pit for the fastest lap? Because if he pits, he will come out guaranteed 2nd, and he will get pole probably off of the
He's a long way from the pits. He's a long way from the pits.
That is true. We seen Prodigy make that mistake, didn't we?
If I was Josh McGill, I'd do it. You're going to come out P2, worst case scenario. And Paul has a 5
4 seconds behind Paul.
And Paul has a 5-second penalty, so you're easily going to be able to cruise up to the back of him and sit there. Worst case scenario. I would absolutely pit if I was Josh, and I think he would be balmy to stay out. And he is staying out, and I think that's a big mistake. I think he needs to come in and get every single point he possibly can. I think that is a mistake. I really do.
This is just helping Prodigy, isn't it? Saving his tyres. Ready for the pounce on Matty Jones.
I mean, he's going to lose P2 if he pitted. Oh no! Chuck gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC. That is not what you want to see. Prodigy's got a great restart. He's only a 2nd behind Matty Jones for the last shot on the podium. So, could Prodigy be about to spoil his dreams? But devastating for Chuck.
Chuck on the main straight, pulls to the inside. Penalty. Oh, and AJ's round as well.
Oh, it's all going on in the last lap. AJ is round. Chuckle gets the move made on Pippo, but Pippo might be coming back at the the Haas driver here. We're on lap 29 of 31. This is great stuff. It's been tantalising from start to finish. Chuckle
He has
now.
a lot more battery.
Pulls down the straight. Pippo with the DRS wide open will go to the inside. Chuckle squeezes him, but I think the Alpine's got the move made into the corner. He has the ascendancy, and through he goes once again. Chuckle's going to be kicking himself for letting the Alpine back through, but I don't think he had much of a choice there.
If we get on board with Prodigy now, right at the back of Matty Jones for this DRS straight.
He certainly is, and those soft tyres really coming into their own. I think Matty will be gutted to lose the podium, but I think he's going to be over the moon to a finish where he does in fourth, because what a race he's having. But I think this is going to be cruelly taken off of him by Prodigy in the Red Bull. I mean, deservedly so, because Prodigy has been quick and probably deserves a P2, but there we go.
I think this puts an end to Prodigy getting P2, in my opinion. Way too far back to get in that 5 seconds.
Yeah. Not close enough to make a move into turn 1.
Prod waiting.
Very cleverly not...
Is that rain?
Defending thin air.
Did you see rain?
No. Is there rain?
I think I can see rain on my screen.
Oh,
it's
you can.
It's rain.
There is rain. There is drama yet to come on the last couple of laps. Prodigy will have the DRS. He's going to go to the inside with massive overspeed, and through the Red Bull goes for the final spot on the podium. And this could be massive, because especially now with everyone's tyres getting so old, they're aging tyres, they're close to puncture territory. You're going to be sliding around even more in this damp conditions. I don't think it's going to be wet enough to go to Inters at all. Excuse me as I sneeze my brains out. Chuckle all over the back of Pippo. Could this cast a little bit of late drama in this race? It's treacherous conditions out there.
But Prod not gaining that much on Paul though.
No, he's not. Perhaps those softs seen the best of their life, and Paul coming through to a fine P2 even with the penalty, which will at the moment as things stand become redundant. Josh McGill crosses the line on the final lap, and look how wet it is. It is getting rather wet out there.
It's going to get damper and damper.
It certainly is. Chuckle chasing down Pippo.
Can he get that P5 with them 22 lap old hards?
Pippo holding him at arm's way as we speak, and also bearing in mind...
Matty Jones penalty.
Matty, I mean, it's not going to make a difference, is it? But
no.
As we do go on to the final lap, driver of the day.
Disabled. Chuckle. He's not going to get it. Driver of the day. Oh, AJ Baker.
Out.
He's lost it. He went straight on into the wall.
Oh, and Apex Royals with him as well. So did they have contact? Were they trying to go side by side?
AJ Baker. Oh no.
Drama right at the end.
Driver of the day for me?
Yeah.
It's between Matty Jones and Paul for me. Matty Jones up 6 positions, obviously.
Oh,
brilliant race.
Chuckle's gone wide and in the wall. He's okay, he's still going, but he ran wide and clipped the wall there. We've also got more drama. Who is that further back? I think that Shane has gone into the wall at the hairpin. What is going on? It's terrible. I agree. We'll come back to this point. Driver of the day, Josh McGill through the final chicane. Oh, nearly loses it. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely treacherous. Or is he trying? He's doing it on purpose now. I think he knows how slippery it is. He knows how much of a lead he's got. He can't keep it on the track. Through Josh McGill comes. He's going to bin it across the line. Great
What's happened
stuff.
To Paul?
What a finish. Paul now will eventually come home for P2. He has dropped.
He won't.
Yeah.
He won't.
He won't.
Prod will get P2.
Paul obviously having a bit of a mistake.
Oh,
Prodigy's run wide as well. Prodigy has run wide. Will this be enough for Paul? Paul will come round the final 2 corners. It is absolutely treacherous conditions. What a finish to this race. Paul comes across the line. Is it enough? Prodigy comes back. He takes P2 at the death. Paul will be kicking himself. Matty Jones will come home P3. And through he comes. for
Look at the
P4.
drivers crawling round, Chuckle getting squirmy coming round to the final corner.
Amazing stuff. Well done to every driver currently on track at the moment, because this is difficult stuff. Chuckle will come in P6, Pippo P5, Lee will just about take P7, maybe, we'll see. Across the line he comes. I'm not sure whether Chuck's going to get it.
He's got a 9-second gap. Well, he's got a 9-second penalty, so...
Chuck comes across the line. What's he going to set? It's going to be P8. And I tell you what, for me, driver of the day, there's two people here. Matty Jones, I think, is driven fantastically. But my other driver of the day, for rather interesting scenario, is Chuck. Because he had a drive-through penalty.
Do you mean Chuckle, not Chuck?
Chuck. No, Chuck.
Chuck.
Chuck had a drive-through penalty and still came home in P8 with no other safety cars after that.
There's a lot of drivers that it can be for me, Marcus. I mean, it would have been either Paul or Matty, but Paul made a mistake, didn't he?
Yeah, a good point there, Chuckle as well.
Chuck will come from the back of the grid.
I mean, if you're watching this, please comment your vote, because this is too much for a decision. I think.
Should we give them 3?
I think we're going to have a think about this.
There's 3 possible ones for me. It's Matty Jones, Chuckle, or Chuck maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
It's between them 3. The game's giving it Danny. It's Danny.
Absolutely amazing. I will tag the top 3 and just remind them to join us for podium interviews as and when they can. Cool.
We've got the Pretender in the chat, I think, saying Chuckle.
So the Pretender votes for Chuckle. It's a good shout.
I think my vote may lie in Chuckle as well. Just from, obviously, he was at the back of the grid. And come back to get a phenomenal result.
We've got Chuck in the chat, not happy with Elegant's driving.
I wish I could see that, but I'm not in the Monday tier chat.
No, I think... no, there's quite a bit I missed, actually. They did say it was going to get wet at the end. Which obviously Danny said that's what he keeps promising his missus. But yeah, Chuck not happy with Elegant's driving. We did see some of it. Chuckle not happy either. Somebody spun him on turn 1 and gave him damage. Danny
Another vote in the chat, Marcus, for Chuckle.
Is there a few votes going in for Chuckle? And I think we got everyone. Is that everyone joining us? Paul, we're just waiting on Josh McGill. Don't forget, Prod and Paul, while you are here, don't forget to make sure your mic's set to on and share your audio so everyone can hear you.
I think I never changed it.
Ah, happy days. As we just wait for our race winner, hopefully, to come and join us in due course. But in the meantime, we will make a start and we'll work our way from bottom upwards. What a race! What an ending! What drama right at the end! I reckon you thought you probably had that one in the bag, didn't you, Paul?
Yeah.
What happened?
Do you know what I said? Literally on the lap, I said it's going to come the rain this lap, and it did. So I sort of jinxed myself. But it was the sort of right left, where the chicane is. I just went into that a bit too quick and ended up facing the wall. So I had to reverse and then pretty much do like a 280 to get it back on track. So yeah, I mean, I fluffed it. Obviously fluffed second. I thought I might have messed third up, and then Matty went deep. So luckily, I managed to keep hold of the podium place.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll probably take P3 anyway, as it was a pit from Prod that put you in that position. But also speeding in the pit lane, it's not been a good season for you, for a few little errors, isn't there, creeping in here and there, which I can speak from experience. You never do. Mistakes is something you never do. It's hard to pressure you into mistakes. So there's a few creeping in this season.
It was a weird one because as I was going into the pits, it was red, and then I got it down to green, and obviously I was braking, so I thought I can't be going any quicker. And then all of a sudden it went to red as I hit the line. I'd have to watch it back. It's either a mistake from me or the timing has just gone a bit doolally and just screwed me over. But yeah, so I had to basically make a gap between me, Chuck, and Matty, which I did, and then obviously messed it up at the end. So, But I messed my whole race up in quali. I had a bad qualifying. I thought I had the pace to get at least top 3 and screwed it over in there. But I don't mind the battle back into in the race. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, there is a known glitch on certain tracks. I think Vegas is one of them where the pit limiter just shows it as red and speed is 0, and so it always
Right.
shows it in the red. But then actually, yeah, so you can never tell what you're in. I don't know whether that's the same on Singapore or not, but
I'll have
there
to
is a
watch it
glitch
back.
at the moment going around
I'll
with
have to
that.
watch it back, but it seemed like it was in green, and then all of a sudden it just jumped to red. So, and I don't think I put my foot on the accelerator, so it is what it is.
Yeah, still a podium and still consistent as ever, and pretty much a race on your own in the end. But we'll go to our next podium sitter up in P2. Managed to snatch it on the last lap, as we've already alluded to. Prodigy, probably feel like you should rightly be there in the first place, as you were there most of the race. How was that race for you?
I mean, I wasn't catching Paul at the end there, so without his mistake, it would have been P3, and I think I would have been okay with P3. I think I stuck it on pole, and then Josh and I kind of raced away. I mean, I think we were 10 seconds in front of the pack at one point.
Yeah.
Our first safety car came out. We both pitted for mediums. He just got through the pack a little bit quicker, so I was sitting 2.5 to 1.5 seconds behind him. But yeah, and then on lap 20, I don't know, I made a mistake. I hit the wall. I got orange wing damage. I was gonna just carry on, and then the virtual safety car came out, and I thought, oh, this is perfect time to pit. So I pitted for softs, and it didn't change my wing. So I think if it had changed my wing and I pitted for softs, I think I would have got ahead of Paul anyway. But I don't know. We'll see. It was a toss up.
Yeah, it's one of those strange calls. I don't know how dead those mediums were for everyone else by the end. I was calling it we might have seen a few punctures, but we didn't see any in the end. Those softs, yeah, they just looked like they sort of just died out with their pace. Once you got past Matty, you pulled a gap, but just couldn't really rein in Paul until that rain came in. What percentage were your tyres on, and how did they feel at that point? Because they must have been crying for mercy.
They weren't too bad, actually. I think before the rain hit, they were only on 25 on the rears and 23 on the fronts, so there was still life in the tyres.
Yeah, so
They could have done another 5-6 laps.
Clearly, tyre wear on Singapore a lot better than it was on the old layouts. I would suggest.
Probably.
We'll go with that. But good race, and we fought back up to P2 in the end, and great pace. To our race winner, I believe Josh has joined us now. Are you there, Josh?
I am. Evening.
Evening. What a race. In the end, a nice comfortable one for you. Great battle with Prodigy early on, but before we go there, I got to say, that last VSC, you weren't tempted to pit and get the fastest lap, try and catch Chuckle in the championship?
You know what? I thought about it, but it's just that long pit lane at Singapore put me off a little bit. I think it's a good 30 seconds. I don't know if I trust EA or Cody's with what it said at the bottom right, but it said I'd come out in about 5th, so I didn't think it was worth the risk.
Yeah, I think we were watching on stream. I predicted that you would have come out at least P2. You would have come out behind Paul.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure you would have come out P2, and even if you weren't able to get past Paul, he had the penalty. So for us watching it on stream, it looked like a little bit of a no-brainer, but you just don't know how things are gonna play out.
I wish I would have been listening to the stream then, because I definitely would have done it. I turned it off because Singapore's so sweaty, I can't even do anything else with when I'm racing Singapore. I feel like you need to concentrate so much.
Exactly. Just every point counts, and you said, with Chuckle having a bad race as well, he managed to come through to P6 in the end, but it's that extra point may have made a difference. We'll have to see next week whether it does or not. But what a great race. I'm sure you had a great battle with Prodigy early on. He was catching you for a bit until he made a mistake. Did he have you a little bit worried there?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why on the restart I went proper aggressive, to be honest, because I think I got AJ by turn 4, because I just knew I had to just literally dive bomb both. Because to be honest, I thought Prodigy was a bit quicker. So I just wanted to try and get that gap up as soon as I could. But yeah, it was a decent race. Bit of a weird one. I thought like everyone was going to end up with punches as well, like you say. But then I've remembered who the game's made by. And any track where you think the deck's higher, it's low. And any track where it's supposed to be low, it's higher. So I think it's just the reverse with the tyres in this year.
Yeah, it's always been a really high degradation circuit. Like if you put even before they changed the layout, you put softs on this game, and they would pretty much be dead by lap 3.
Yeah,
So
literally.
I thought mediums that was too much for a stretch from the safety car, but we did say, with the new layout, you're taking a lot of the slow speed corners, which you can put a lot of stress on the tyres, front and rear. So obviously, it wasn't too much in the end. What were your tyres on by the end? Out of curiosity, do you know?
60s, I think, just in the 60s. So I didn't really have any warnings or anything.
Oh, okay, so still comfortably away from puncher territory. But what was it like in those raining conditions? We saw you weaving a bit and having a bit of slides for fun at the end.
Yeah, to be fair, I've never known it transition so quick. Like, it literally went DRS disabled within like a lap of it raining, which normally it takes ages on these games, I feel like. So, had me a little bit worried at first. I think Bugatti was in front of me and he was just going off everywhere, so I was just watching what he was doing and trying to just be a bit slower. But, yeah, it was pretty wet towards the end.
Yeah, great stuff and great racing from all three of you. I don't know whether you have any further questions, Matthew, you wanted to ask?
No, you've pretty much summed it up, mate, yourself.
Absolutely. Well, what a great race from you three. Thank you very much for joining us for the podium interviews once again. And I look forward to seeing your race next week and to see if Josh can actually overturn Chuckle in the championship. If my maths are correct, I do believe that Josh is now the only person that can catch Chuckle in the championship after that, but I will have to work that one out. But do make sure you tune in next Monday, same time as ever, on the same channel. And thank you ever so much, everyone, for joining in. But we'll catch you then.